Webster Avenue, South Bronx, dictionary's definition of the word sonero is as follows. Noun, a badass salsa singer that takes life's twists and turns, ups and downs, boils them down, extracts the essence and injects that into a sentence. All this while staying on key and playing with the beat. Also thinking on their feet, sometimes improvised, or as we say in hip-hop speak, off the top of the dome, son. My definition of a sonero is a bit more inclusive. You see, KRS-One is a sonero to me. Cheo Feliciano was an ill MC. Janis Joplin, Charlie Chaplin, just to name a few. All soneros that have influenced me. A wise man once said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I say, my life is more like an epic salsa song. Written by Tite Curea Alonso and Ruben Blades. Preferably sung by Héctor Lavoe, but if he's busy, I'll settle for Ismael Miranda. Arranged by José Febles and played by la Sonora Ponceña. With each section of the song, adding a phrase to my soneo, the beat to my bamboleo, the swing in my zapateo, the soul in my sandungueo. I put the stank on it when I sing, so some people might say, el canta bien feo. When I'm on stage, se forma tremendo jangueo. But how does this all work? This life song metaphor? Let's work it out together. We begin with the intro. The part of the song that should hook you in. A good intro makes a song recognizable after just a few notes. See what I mean? When I hear this, I think of many a night at the office. Business card scoopers, burnt nostrils, dilated pupils, and lots of noise in my head. You know, same old, same old. Same old venue, same old songs, same old crowd. Same old drunk doña that stands right in front of the stage screaming, "Tu te pareces a Marc Anthony! Look at him! Marc Anthony #2! Sing one of his songs, come on. Hay que vivir, hay que soñar, Marc Anthony! Same old mira que come mierda, who he thinks he is. Look, she gives me when I tell her I don't take requests. Same old couple that sits at a table and never looks up from their phone. Facebook and Instagram must be more important than anything I got to say. Same old drunk dude at the bar with the loud ass maracas that plays off beat and sings off key. No le pega la negra. And then there's him. Flaco. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hookah y Maraca Lounge. My name is Flaco Navaja, and this is the Razor Blade. Cuidado que corta. We even get this freight train on its tracks. But before I do, I want to introduce the Razor Blade to you. Because by the time we finish, we're going to be like family. Alright? But I got one very special rule. When you hear someone's name, that's your cue to clap and make noise and shit like that. On the keys, the one and only, Jonathan Monte! Together, we are Flaco Navaja and the Razor Blade! Flaco llegó, cuidado que te corta. El flaco llegó, cuidado que te corta. Flaco llegó, cuidado que te corta. El flaco llegó, cuidado que te corta. A mí me llaman Flaco Navaja y 200 libras nunca voy a pesar. Yo lo que peso son 100 libras nada más. Con piedra en los bolsillos y la ropa moja. Cuidado que te corta. El flaco llegó. Cuidado que te corta. El flaco llegó. Cuidado que te corta. El flaco llegó. Cuidado que te corta. Siempre me dicen, flaco, tú no pesas nada. Como esta chuleta y esta papa maja. Porque tú tienes buen sonamá. Tú tienes buen sonamá. Y si vives conmigo, yo te pongo a engordar. Flaco llegó, cuidado que te corta. Flaco llegó, cuidado que te corta. En no ser flaco, yo siempre he tratado. Y no hay comida que yo no he probado. Yo como y como, pero nunca he engordado. Pues si me ven de frente, parece que estoy de la... Yeah, 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 yeah. I'll be the son of hardcore South Bronx Puerto Rican nationalist. An aguinaldo, bomba y plena salsa rumba singing actor activist. Llevo el swing del sur del Bronx wherever I go. From the Seine in Paris to old San Juan's callejones. See, I was raised on a steady diet of Rafi Levi La Selecta, KRS-One, The Doors, Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, y música de protesta. I am the tree that grew from the seed, planted by Rueng and Willie so many years ago. Siembra! I am Juana Peña and Pedro Navaja's illegitimate child. I am salsa. I am hip-hop. I am Puerto Rico. I am the South Bronx. I am New York City. And my name is Flaco Cuidado que te corta. For as long as I remember, I always wanted to be a singer. In the 3rd grade, I did a talent show. I sang a menudo song. But it wasn't until I was about 10 years old that I got bit by the salsa bug. 1987, South Bronx, Patterson Projects, Abuela Julia's apartment. In one corner of the living room was Abuelo's leather recliner, forbidden. In the other side of the room was an old school record player. Theo Maxi pulls out a record, or like my father calls them, un long pling, which years later I came to realize meant long play, or LP for short. Anyway, my Uncle Maxi is a Marine veteran that burned his Marine uniform when he got home from Vietnam. Abuelo kicked him out the house because Maxi refused to take down that Angela Davis poster he had up in his bedroom. That's Maxi. Proud. Radical. Boricua. Professor, ven acá. He called me professor because I had thick glasses and buck teeth. I had a 3-point program to fix my appearance. Get contacts, get braces, and gain weight. 2 out of 3 is good enough. Ven acá, professor. Wait. Wait. Bueno, vaca. Avanza. Do you know what the problem with kids these days is? No, where you going? Where you going? No, wait. Hey, this is serious, bro. This is important. You can play that no entiendo later. The problem with kids these days is that they don't got no respect or no sense of pride in their community. When I was a kid, we took over Hostos Community College. You wasn't even born yet. I was about 25, and that was like 5 years after I got home from Vietnam, and I was a student at the time in Bronx Community College, and I had just started hanging around the people from the Puerto Rican Socialist Party. ¿Cómo? No, man, no, wasn't that kind of party. I mean, we were social, and we partied, pero it was a political thing. How do I explain it? Okay. Make believe you got a piece of pie, and you put in $5, and your best friend Tommy, he only puts in $3.
And your other friend, he only puts in $1 because he never got no money because his mother got a gambling problem. And anyway, in socialism, everybody gets the same amount of slices. It doesn't matter how much money you put in. You get it? No? Well, you're gonna get it soon enough, trust me. The thing is, the city was doing a bunch of budget cuts. And they put together this thing called a fiscal review board. Y eso era una junta de pendejos. Don't say that word. But they put them together to decide one money gets cut from over here, one money don't get cut from over here. One money get cut from over here, one money don't get cut from over here. Pues esos pendejos, don't say that word. They was only cutting programs that affect the poor people. And Hostos Community College was the first ever bilingual college in New York City. Do you know what that means? I know you don't because you're looking at me like I got one leg and two heads. That means that they was giving classes in Spanish and English. Do you even know who Eugenio Maria de Hostos was? No. Ave María Purísima, estos muchachos hoy en día no están en nada. Professor, you gotta know your history in order to make it to your future. ¿Viste? ¿Viste? No, chuleta. Anyway, the thing is, they was gonna shut it down, and the Boricua stood up, and we said presente, and we took over, and we locked ourselves up in there for over a week, and we had a hunger strike. ¿Cómo? Hunger strike is when you decide not to eat to prove a point. I know, I didn't get it either, but I did it. And let me tell you something, it wasn't easy, because a mí me dieron unos munchies. ¿Cómo? Munchies. Munchies says, munchies happens when you get hungry after, don't worry about it. The thing is that they was gonna shut it down and we took over, and that was a very special time in my life. And let me tell you something, I learned a lot in my life and I wouldn't change it. And yeah, I got arrested. Y casi me caen a palo la policía. But I wouldn't change it for anything. And let me tell you something, there was always music playing. And not that fucking music you kids listen to today, que todas malas palabras, and motherfucking this, y sabrampicha that. ¿Cómo que you don't listen to that? And what you listen to? The Doors. No joda. You sure you didn't go to Vietnam? You gotta listen to this, professor. They call him el cantante de los cantantes. Not for nothing. You kind of look like him.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this excerpt of Evolution of a Sonero. It's unfortunate that I'm not able to share with you face to face, but that will soon come. And I know we're living in some very interesting times. I think it's important for us to stay connected to those things and people, the things that we love, and also to stay safe. Stay home if you can. Wear a mask if you need to go out. This song is called Cántale a la Vida, and I had the honor of writing it with my brother Obi Bermudez, and it talks about what's going on right now, I guess. Let's celebrate life. By the way, you're the first people to hear this. This is a Flaco Navaja exclusive. Consider yourself special, because you are, and I love the Bronx. I always will. Necesitamos amor aunque sea de lejitos. Hay que cuidar los viejitos. Hay que cuidar los niñitos. Anoche soñé contigo. Soñé que yo te abrazaba y que tiempo nos sobraba, que no nos faltaba nada. Canta, corazón, ay, pulmón, respira. Abre tu balcón y canta la vida. Canta, corazón, ay, pulmón, respira. Vita la esperanza y hazle una armonía. Necesitamos mirarnos, aunque sea por video. Ay, hablémonos detenido. Pon tu mano en el vidrio. Canta, corazón, ay, pulmón, respira. Abre tu balcón y canta la vida. Abre tu balcón y canta la vida. It's a rainy day in the LBC. My thoughts are with my family in the NYC. Although I'm happy I made the move out west, I'll never stop repping the BX. My kids call me superhero papa every time I leave the house with my mask on. It's all a game, a la life is beautiful. But life is beautiful and complicated and frustrating and scary, but mostly beautiful. Canta, corazón, ay, pulmón, respira. Abre tu balcón y canta la vida. Abre tu balcón y canta la vida.
That was so beautiful. Oh, you guys, welcome to the South Bronx Culture Trail Festival, an annual event highlighting our rich and diverse history through community arts, culture, and education, brought to you by Casita Maria Center for Arts and Education and Council Member Rafael Salamanca Jr. I'm your Sofrito host, Rina Valentin, and what we just watched and experienced was an excerpt of Evolution of a Sonero, which originally was to be held at Casita Maria as a full presentation. And today I have the pleasure of being in conversation with a dear friend of mine whom I've known a good 20 years and have had the honor of sharing the stage with, and the privilege of watching his climb into the masterful performer he has become today. Please welcome the Evolución of a Sonero himself, Flaco Navaja. We also have Jorge Merced, the director of the play and associate artistic director at Pregones Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, with us here to just share the current crisis that we are living through and how it's impacted our beloved arts organizations in the Bronx. Everyone, welcome Flaco and Jorge.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rena. It's
Thank you,
great to see you.
Rena. Rena, it's great seeing you. What a pleasure to be here, sharing this wonderful moment and this premiere of a new song by Flaco Navaja right here in the Bronx, in the BX, the Boogie Down.
I gotta tell you, it had me in tears. It's so nice to see you, Flaco.
Same here. Thank you so much.
We miss you in the Bronx.
I miss my home in the BX too.
How's California treating you?
It's great. Yeah, it's good. It's a move that needed to happen for the growth of my family, and my toddlers are doing well.
Yeah, I noticed you incorporated them in the new excerpt. That's so lovely. So you know what? Just share about the evolución of Sonero and the story and you know its music, its salsa and the Bronx. I mean, it must be nostalgic for you every time you perform it.
Yeah, it's a very special project for me. I think it was one that was 40 some odd years in the making, and I always had this dream from early on, literal dream. I mean, like sleeping and dream, and I always had this dream of doing like some weird Frank Sinatra in Vegas, like. But instead of Frank Sinatra in Vegas with just the piano, it would be with a salsa band. And that was it. I had no other context than that in terms of content of what it would be that I would be saying. But I just always loved the idea of singing songs and telling stories. And I thought that eventually, because this is a very early dream, I thought that eventually throughout my journey, I would acquire the skills to make that dream actually happen, you know? And since then, you know, throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to do such a wide range of weird and fun things in the theater and all over, you know? I'm talking like, all right, I'll take it back with you. Arthur Vila's typical dance theater, and we did a crazy dance show in Central Park Summer Stage.
We did. That's right.
1990.
No, was that one? No, that was Lincoln
Probably
Center.
did rain. Lincoln Center out of doors, it would rain.
Yeah,
Same piece. So you know what I mean? Doing things like that. Having the blessing to have landed into a company like Pregones in a time of my life that was necessary, it has been an amazing, just development that was needed to have me be the person that I am right now.
I feel you. I feel you. I'm feeling you completely. You know, you went through a transition. You're repping the Bronx. You're living in California. You're providing for a family. You know, you're a Bronx born and that's carrying this legacy, right, of a sonero. Let's break down what a sonero represents to our people.
Okay. Sonero to me, as you heard in the excerpt, is more than just a salsa singer, but let's start there. The sonero is a salsa singer that's well-versed in improvisation, right? So as every game, there's levels to each game. And in the salsa world, and music-wise, there's different types of people that express themselves in different ways. So there's the canto autor, singer-songwriter dude that writes amazing lyrics, right? Boom. There's the callejero salsero that may not be as musically, technically trained or masterful per se, but is an amazing storyteller and improvisation dude.
An improviser.
Right? Yeah, thank you. And so
it comes from his heart. I get it, right? Yeah, que le sale.
I make up words all the time.
I'll back you up. I'm going to back you up, Poppy.
Yeah, you got it. You understood what I was saying. So I've always been drawn to those singers that would tell stories in their soneros and the idea of improvising something while staying within the context of an original story in the song, and we're staying in the musical context, that whole thing is fascinating to me. It's like this, I feel like it's not talked about enough. And you know, we can go down a rabbit hole. By the way,
Right.
sidebar, I just got my 23andMe genetics results. So I've been on this like ancestry, like super rabbit hole, which we can talk about soon. Pero,
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's like an hour within itself. Can you at least
oh my God,
tell me
yeah,
what
it is.
dominates? Can you tell me what predominant, what your genes,
Yeah,
what
I was surprised. I'll tell you what I was surprised by, just in the breakdown of, I was surprised by the amount of native blood that I have, which was around 14% or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of Southern European, like Granada, that like right near North Africa, that stuff. And then my African blood was a lot from the Congo and Nigeria.
Nice.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Thanks for sharing that, by the way.
You're welcome.
Oh, especially
but
what we're going through right now, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like we're all connected.
Oh yeah, ain't no denying it.
Yeah.
So why, going back to the Sonero stuff,
right?
I always were drawn to the Sonero, the active improvisation, and like following that route of where that comes from and that connection to the poetry of it all. And then I've always been fascinated by the trovadores of the Puerto Rican tradition and this whole concept of hip hop and freestyling. And I grew up in the 90s in the Bronx, so there's that. And how I always kind of found certain salsa songs. I think my approach to salsa, I'm back.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, oh my God.
I'm back.
Okay.
I think my approach to salsa has always been through a hip hop lens because of growing up in the Bronx. And an example of that is the song El Ratón by Cheo Feliciano. And when the first time I ever heard that song, it was a video of a live in Yankee Stadium performance, I don't know, 73 to something like that, of the Fania All-Stars. And Jorge Santana, Carlos Santana's brother, may he rest in peace, who he just passed away a couple months ago, El Malo, played the illest guitar solo in this song. And I remember hearing the bass line be like, yo, that's hip hop. Holy shit. Excuse me, language. But I was just like, wow, it really blew me away. And that was my in. That's all I needed. You know, and then I discovered Héctor Lavoe, then I discovered Ruben Blades, and I discovered everyone else. And boom.
So do you feel that you're carrying this torch of just passing it on to the next generation? And how seriously do you take that responsibility?
I take that responsibility. I don't take it lightly. And I think if I can put down one grain of salt and in a mind that will spark a search, then I'm cool with that.
You know, it's beautiful that you're also referencing history, right? As far as your influences, and also not only the influences of these elders in the Salsa community. You're a mix, you're a fusion of hip hop, and as you said, Janis Joplin, and also the salsa and the callejeros and the soneros and all of that. And so because you're a fusion, you're kind of like this new incarnation of all of these music genres.
I mean, that I feel like we are an amalgamation of all of our influences, and everyone is, you know what I mean? And I just have been blessed with the opportunity to be able to kind of articulate it or put it out there in a package in some way. And I don't take that lightly either. And yeah, I think it's important for us to know who we are and where we're from. I think that's important. I'm not a traditionalist, you know what I mean? I don't feel like, I'm not a purist, dude.
Right.
But
we're mixed. We're mixed, so that's a little, kind of being a little hypocritical, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, exactly. And I think music is to be interpreted, and music is to be, in order for a musical genre to continue to survive, there needs to be room for innovation. There needs to be room for experimentation, because when something came about first time, it was an experiment. Right. You know what I mean? So how can we kind of stake claim to something and be like, nah, I got to be like this forever?
Right. Right.
However, on the flip side of that, you still need to, excuse me, there are still helicopters coming around town where I'm at. But on the flip side of that, you still have to approach the source material with dignity, with respect and acknowledgement of history and that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because there's a whole mine, a whole vast source material. It's endless. But it's important to acknowledge where it comes from. It's important to use it with dignity and respect.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you said in your excerpt that your daddy was saying. He was like, you got to know where you came from to know where you're going. Yeah. Right? Absolutely. So speaking of which, right, now you created this beautiful song that you just played for us and sang for us here exclusively. First time it premiered. And let's talk about that song and the purpose and I guess the inspiration and how you see it serving in the future, because it definitely represents a time capsule that we're all experiencing right now.
Thank you. Well, the backstory of the song is I had the melody of this tune in my head during the beginning of this pandemic. Kind of just popped in my head, and I had been humming this melody. Ended up being like the entire form of a song. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, wow, I hear the whole thing. I just don't have any words, And then I'm
laughing because I could just see you going, oh yeah, I'm dancing around trying to figure out what goes with it, right?
Yeah, my family knows the entire melody because they hear me humming it, you know what I mean? And then I'm learning in my old age to seek guidance to not be afraid to ask for guidance from peers. Not necessarily an elder per se. So I reached out to my brother, Obi Bermudez, who is an amazing singer-songwriter, amazing musician. Like, he's amazing. And he's written some awesome songs, right? So I reached out to him asking the proverbial chicken or egg question, like, hey, do you write songs when you write songs, do you have the words already, or do you start with a melody? What's your process like? And he kind of gave me his process, and I related to it because he was kind of like, there is no process. Sometimes it's this way, sometimes that way. Cool. So long story short, I sent him a voice note of what I had in my head, and I had written the first 4 lines. And then I sent it to him, and I spoke about the theme of what it is that I'm here. The first 4 lines kind of set the tone of what we talk about here. And then and he, I guess, was moved to participate, and he wrote back and was like, could I write on it with you? And I was like, yeah. Like, say no more. And then and like a day or two later, he came back with this amazing tune, and we went back and forth, edited some stuff. I had a coro in mind, and it was amazing. So what you guys heard is the piano kind of chamber version. It's a term I learned from Jorge, of the song. So it's just me and piano. So, but I'm in the process of recording the tune as we speak, and I have like a salsa arrangement done by an amazing Grammy Award-winning dude, and he did this for me just cause he's a great guy. His name is Oscar Hernandez from the Spanish Harlem Orchestra. He was also one of the Seis del Solar, Ruben Blades group, and he's just amazing. So he wrote this amazing arrangement for me, and then I hollered at all of my friends, both on the West Coast and the East Coast. The Razor Blades is a bi-coastal band, so I have a Razor Blade version in the West Coast and one in the East, and so it was a mixture of the two that recorded this song. My bass player, his name is Eddie Resto. He's a LA brother from New York, originally Boricua, and he's played with everyone from Eddie Palmieri to Tito Puente to Charlie Palmieri to all of these people. And he's just a mentor of mine and a wonderful friend. So it's coming together very nicely. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to putting it out there.
Yeah, because people were already asking, they were already inquiring about the song being downloadable. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did. We're working on it.
Can we download the song? Yeah,
We're
no, I
working on
think
it.
it's wonderful. And you know what, I really appreciate that you always make it your business to acknowledge everybody else who's a contribution. You know, you're dropping all these names and you're putting them all on blast, which is beautiful, you know, because you're not doing this alone. I mean, you may be in the front, but it takes a whole band to put it together. So that's
absolutely.
You know, my next question is how are you able to do that with the social distancing, right? We're living in a different time. And can you share a little bit about the artistry process now when you're working with a group and or band?
What's interesting about being forced to stay away from people and being forced to stay at home, it's in my opinion, it's an opportunity for us to shift the way we interact, because we need to interact. So we can't just stay home and be alone. So we need to interact, right? So we have to, this is an opportunity for us to shift our perspective from being enclosed to having this newfound freedom and connection to the world. That's one thing. It's all good. And I think in terms of collaborating with people now, the need to be face-to-face has been taken out of the equation. So, you know, I was able to put a group of people together on a common goal, and we were able to just send files together. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting. Whereas maybe, you know, in an ideal world, I would have liked to all have been in the room when we recorded the thing together, old school style, and that would be great.
Right.
But that's not the world we live in right now. Y hay que trabajar, so
yeah, it's like
I ain't gonna wait.
Extra work and a longer process, no?
I think so. I think yeah, a little bit, and a level of faith and trust in the process, because you also have a little bit less control of the entire process and the entire thing. You know what I mean? So it's like I'll call, I'll speak to someone via FaceTime and be like, oh, this is the tune, you know what I mean? In this section, I kind of like this, you know, all right, call me when you finish, and, you know.
you gotta trust that the vibe with you.
And then also it's important to point out that normally these things cost a lot of money, and these are people that are these are musicians that are also have struggling during the pandemic and are not working and you know, having to deal and figure out how to provide for their individual families and things like that, right? And these are people that, out of the kindness of their own heart, out of the love that they have for me, out of the belief in this particular song and project, did it for free, you know? Yeah. This arrangement was done by this Grammy Award-winning dude just because he likes me. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
I mean, he enjoyed the song, but it's like, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
And
and that's the beauty of having an artist community, though, right? It's like
yes.
recognize that there's something that needs to be created versus monetizing what needs to be created. I mean, we all like getting paid, but sometimes it's a matter of like, you know what, this needs to be created. And then of course there's the relationships that you form, which is what you're discussing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm nothing, I've said it time and time again, I'm nothing without the people that support me. You know, I'm nothing without the wife and children that I have. I'm nothing without the support of an organization like Pregones and Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, and the people that come to the show, and the people that are constantly like, you know, yo te apoyo, bro, yo, and eso me da ánimo during the darkest of dark times. You know what I mean? And there's been times that I'll be walking when I lived in the Bronx and was in a very dark place in my life, walking down the street, and you know, someone stops you and tells you saw you on TV or whatever. And at that moment, it could go either way. On one end, you can take it like, oh my God, I was on TV one time. What is happening with me now? Or it could give you like the next breath that you needed because you were at a loss of breaths. You know, and I've had both. You know, you made it in the hood when a cracker stops you in the street and like, yo, bro, I saw you on TV, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the last thing I saw before I saw my TV. You know what I mean? And at that same point, at that same time, me wanting to ask him if he had $1 so I could take the train. You know?
Yeah, I feel you.
That's what being an artist in this world, in this country is, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's almost like trusting faith, right?
It's absolutely.
Yeah, it's all about faith.
You can't take a leap of faith without faith.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to say that's also included in the actual show itself. I mean, what everyone saw was an excerpt, and I had the honor of seeing it off Broadway at the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater off Broadway, and you actually put it up again and performed it to sold out shows, and the show itself has a life of its own, and it's just like amazing how you just keep going with it, right? And so here's this new rendition, which is a great segue into introducing Jorge Messer, who's been with you all the way since its inception, right? So Jorge, thank you for being patient.
Hey, Rina. I'm here enjoying this amazing conversation between these two BX artists that I cherish and I love so much. And I want to also celebrate the fact that art is really essential, especially now, Rina. As you know, people think that, oh, you can't go to see art, you can't go to the theater, you can't go to the movies, you can't go to the places where you would go with your family to share art. But this is the most crucial moment for artists and for arts to continue to provide the essence of why we are as human beings, questioning who we are. And right now, it is the moment where our artists need support the most. You saw it. Flaco doesn't stop being Flaco Navaja, the artist, just because there's a curfew or just because you can't go to a theater. On the contrary, all of us artists use this time right now to really absorb what's going on and provide our society what we do best, the tools to reflect on how we can become better human beings and how we can move forward. We at Pregones Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, the same as Casita Maria, are committed to right now more than ever supporting our artists. We have a whole chorus of artists, from designers, songwriters, actors, who are right now creating work for all of us, work that is essential work for our humanity, for our souls. And if you have the opportunity to reach out, support organizations like Casita Maria, support organizations like Pregones Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, this is the time. We committed to making sure that Flaco has the resources to continue being himself as an artist. And also I wanna give a shout out to the musicians that were going to be at Casita Maria today, but they couldn't because of what's going on, who were part of this amazing production, from Jessica Moya, our production manager, to Carlos Cuevas, our pianist, to Gabo Lugo, to Victor Pablo, to Waldo Chavez, and to our great trombone player who has been with us from the beginning as well, Omi Ramos. And these are the artists that are right now creating work for us as a society. And I'm so proud that I am part of a family of artists that are continuing to support that space and support the work that you're doing. And you just saw it right now. Flaco wrote this song because he cannot be anything else but an artist. And an artist doesn't stop being an artist just because there's a pandemic outside and because we can't be together. No, we continue to create. We are an essential component of society. And I'm so proud to be here today listening to you talk.
Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. You know, and thank you for mentioning the way both you, Pregones Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, as well as Casita Maria stay standing up and are committed to the community and the community of artists, and just making sure that there's resources to pay us for our art, right? And I say us because I'm an artist as well, but it's a tricky business, and it's a tricky business even for mid-sized organizations such as Casita Maria and Pregones Puerto Rican Traveling Theater. So how has that been for you as an organization sustaining this pandemic and the shelter in place?
I think for us, it was really simple. You know, when you go on a plane and they say, put your mask on first before you put the mask on someone else, we put the mask on first on our artists. We said, what do you need? What are the resources? Let's go ahead. Let's find out how we can provide you with those resources, with that money, with that salary, with that support, so that you can continue to breathe and be an artist. And that's what we did first. And that's where the support that people are watching today is so crucial. We went and we said, we're going to support our chorus first, understanding that our facility is here for the long run. Pregones is here for the long run. We're not going to go anywhere. We're good. We're good. But we need your support so we continue to have songs like Flaco's song be part of the work that.
Did we lose you? Voice-wise? Okay, so I know we're supposed to be wrapping up. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on. However, let's wrap up on a high note and share. And I'm also going to ask Flaco to share something that presents itself to him in this time where we are dealing with division, let's say. Let's just bring some words of hope into the space.
Sure. And I'll start and I'll let Flaco bring in his amazing closing. Art is essential. Artists are part of a society that continues to transform itself and continues to question who we are and how we can move forward. And this is a perfect time for us to stop, analyze what matters, what are those ties that bind, and how can we celebrate as a community the things that make us who we are. And this is the perfect time for that to happen. And it is happening in the Boogie Down, in the Bronx. It is happening in our homes, with our families. And we are going to get through this. And we're going to come out not only stronger, but with a clearer sense of what are the things that matter to us for our livelihoods, for our way of understanding society, and how we can connect with each other across races, across cultural backgrounds, and move forward. And art is an essential part of that. So stay tuned with the arts. Do not give up. Connect with your artists, support your artists, and be with us. We're going to be here for you. When we come back, when we can celebrate live with each other, you're going to love what we've been cooking this past few months for you.
Well, thank you for making it your business to bring it virtually for the time being. Thank you for being with us. Flaco,
thank you. Oh man, I think I ditto to everything you just heard. Absolutely. I think, like Jorge was saying, art is essential. We need to continue to take control of our narratives, take control of our stories, and create stories so that we can give voices to those that don't have, to expose the beauty of our communities, and to expose not only those differences that but also like the similarities of things. And I think in order for racism is born out of fear, and fear can only be quelled by love. Love doesn't necessarily have to be soft. Love doesn't necessarily have to come with a hug. love doesn't necessarily have to be all, it's not fluff. This isn't a flower that I'm holding in my hand. It's a cry of to all of us to reconnect with that part of love within us, to lead with love in our interactions with our families and ourselves and those around us, and also to just stand firm that we are going to be okay.
I love that. I love that. You know, I really appreciate you being so candid throughout this entire interview and sharing with everyone who's with us today the reality of what an artist's life is. You know, it's a roller coaster. There's ups and downs, and there's good times and there's low times. And the idea of you just closing with your statement of just be love and trust that it's going to be okay, really, that's really all we have to bank on, being human beings. Really.
So true, Rina, so true. And we're going to get through this. And I know a lot of people in the chat have been asking, can we see the whole thing again? And I believe that we might have a surprise, that we may just show the entire thing again right after we finish our conversation. So for those of you that tuned in late and you want to see the whole thing again, I think that might happen just now. But it's been
Let me go
honor.
get changed.
Let me go get changed, right? So how great to know that this is happening, and it's happening in the Boogie Down, it's happening in the Bronx, and we're here, and we're going to continue to be strong for all of us in our community. Yeah. Thank you, Rina, so much. And I look forward to hugging you again. But in the meantime, get my
virtual hugs. Mira, yo hago así. This is the virtual Bronx hug.
That's it.
Hola, Flaco, and the same with Gail. Same with Gail, has been so amazing organizing all of this. So thank you, all of you guys, and we'll see you soon. So now enjoy a little bit of.
I just want to say I just want to say thank you as well, and thank you to organizations like Casita Maria and Pregones Puerto Rican Traveling Theater for walking the walk and really integrating themselves into a community, accessing what the community needs, and giving that with all of their hearts without grandiose. I'm back. Without any like grandiosity, without any like, look what we're doing. And I can say, as an artist and as a member of the Pregones ensemble, that I am a direct recipient to that love and that support, monetary support during this time. So thank you. I love you.